The Hauraki Big Show with Jace, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
You're welcome back, you massive backbones and fellas. Geez, I tell you what a massive treat. I mean, we've had some amazing people on our show, it's fair to say. I mean, I remember when you two backbones, you interviewed, who were those guys from that movie that were like mega stars? You know, the war movie.
Oh, Warfare. The Alex Garland film that came out last year. Charles Melton and Will Poulter.
Should we get the intro done and then we can talk about a movie that's not Carl's?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's kick it off with that.
Shot, Jace.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just setting the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was going to put you up on another level. Yeah.
Fair.
Okay, let's start again. You're welcome back in. I thought we were just doing the podcast.
No, we're just doing the podcast.
Yeah. G'day, fellas.
How's it going?
Hi.
Yeah, good. Special treat. We've got an absolute superstar on this podcast, a very special treat. A sort of New Zealand icon and legend, really. I think I can say that, fellas. And I'm talking of the great Karl Urban joining us in the studio. G'day, you mad bastard. How's life?
G'day, fellas. How are you? It's so good to be here.
Going pretty grouse, mate.
Yeah.
Have you guys, I was wondering actually on my high-speed drive in here, because I was running late, whether you and Jace had ever worked together.
I think we have, Karl, but I'll be buggered if I can remember what it was. It was many years ago. It was on something, but I do remember working with you.
I can tell Carl's got no recollection of it whatsoever.
It was probably some half-assed, thing.
Many moons ago, that's for sure.
You would have been,
you're sort of in different stratospheres now.
Yeah, but I knew even then that, you were destined for stardom, man. Because you just had this...
you called it.
You just had this vibe about you. You know what I mean?
Have you ever done Broken Wood, Karl?
No, and I need to do that. That is something that is, I haven't ticked off yet. It's on the list. I'm trying to get to it. Hey, but listen, fellas, before we get too deep...
Yeah.
Before we get too balls deep, I should say, I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh God!
Have I got the sting? I've got the sting.
I got a bone to pick.
So listen, now I'm not one to hold a grudge or anything, but I was listening to the big show... August the 27th last year, 5:13 p.m. And you guys did this segment, right, on who are your A-list international celebrities.
I remember.
And you said, Minogue, like your Taika Waititi's and to a lesser extent, Karl Urban.
Oh my God.
No, and I thought, fair enough. Okay, I don't put myself out there as much like Taika did, and I'm not married a pop star. I don't have that sexually transmitted fame, which is bloody hard to get rid of once you catch.
Yeah, totally, mate. Totally.
But anyway, then you all went on to compile your lists and completely left me off the list.
Jeez, I'm going to have to listen to the audio because I don't believe that.
There's video as well.
I'm pretty certain that you were like second on my list.
There was, you
right
listened to
up
it.
there.
But can I ask you, man, in all seriousness, as an actor in this country, was it always your ambition to think overseas, because I think as New Zealand actors back then, when I was acting, it was, we did our Hercules and Xena and all that sort of stuff. But for me, I never thought about overseas. But was that always part of the picture for you, that you wanted to expand out?
Yeah, listen, I was looking at actors like Sam Neill and Bruno Lawrence, and it was pretty clear to me that the New Zealand industry, as amazing as it is and as awesome it is at telling our stories, if you want a career of some serious longevity, you have to look overseas. Yeah. And I always just wanted to work with the best in the business globally, and so from a very early point, I had my target set over there.
Because are you from Wellington?
Wellington originally, yeah.
What part of Welly?
Well, all over actually. We moved around. Mount Vic, Oriental Bay, Brooklyn.
Yeah, right.
I moved around a ton. Kandala.
And then you ended up acting. But briefly, if I remember, there was something that you did, and then you went to uni.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you dropped out of uni.
Yeah.
And I remember there being Shark Park.
Yeah,
that might have been the first time.
That's right.
You would have done Shark Park, Jace.
Maybe, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we worked on.
What's Shark Park?
Shark Park was an old it was a police drama, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. They probably recycled the uniforms for your show.
They would have done. They would have done, yeah. Although you would have been taken a lot more seriously than I was in my role. So there was all that sort of stuff that you clocked through, but back then it feels like we used to have a hell of a lot more drama being made at TV shows and all that sort of stuff. So even back then it feels like you could have been a bit more of a careerist even in New Zealand. But now you can have a good run, I think. You can have a good run.
Yeah.
But in New Zealand, you can have a run, I reckon, for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And then somebody goes, you know what, this bastard's been in everything. Fuck
Yeah,
right.
totally.
Yeah.
And your sort of your fate lies in somebody else's hands. So when you have something like, and it must have been Rings that came along, something like that pops up, you just got to go, fuck, I've got to make the most of this.
Yeah, no, totally. And you know what? I think it's actually a strength of actors in this country because the industry is small and it forces you to do everything from theatre to radio to TV, you know, film if you can get comedy, or everything, you know. And I think that makes us stronger as performers. Whereas you look at overseas, like actors in the States, they get top heavy very quickly. They've got stylists and agents and managers and dietitians and all this stuff that's so on the peripheral. So yeah, but it's you know, you know, if you want a career of longevity, you know, you got to think internationally. And the world's gotten to a point now with the Zooms and everything, the meetings you can do, that you can achieve a lot more by just staying here. Yeah.
And did you have a swing at Aussie as well?
I did for a brief minute, actually. It was the most dispiriting year of my life. It was after Shorty Street, and I went over there and was basically starting again, and I was working at a bottle store in Double Bay.
Oh, yeah.
And it was tough. It was brutal, but yeah, I eventually got offered something back here and came back, and the rest is history.
I did 3.5 years there as a furniture removalist.
Right.
That's why he's built like a brick shithouse.
That's why I'm so massive.
Stallion physique.
That's right.
It was funny you should mention Shortland Street because I was talking to a friend today and I was telling her that we were interviewing you, and to her eternal shame, she wasn't quite sure who I was referring to, and she said, "Oh, did he do Shortland Street?" Yeah. And I said, "Actually, yeah, he did do Shortland Street," but she was thinking of Carl Burnett. You know, the one with the blonde hair.
Easy confusion to
I
make.
was like, no, they're kind of, there's quite
so
different.
similar. It's so similar.
He was huge on Shortland Street.
How long were you on Shortland Street
About
for?
6 months.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did 6 months and out.
And is there, you know, overseas and in the States in particular, is there a sense of community amongst sort of New Zealand actors? Is there a sort of, do you sort of hang out together? What's the sort of situation?
Yeah, I've heard that there is. I can't. I'm not part of it.
Oh right, they'll let you know.
Yeah, they'll let me know. I'm on the wait list. But no, to be fair, fellas, I live here.
Yes.
You know, and you know, I've really taken my inspiration from the likes of, you know, Peter Jackson and Sam Neill, who have international careers but work here. I thought that's a pretty good way to go.
Were you living here the whole time?
Yeah. Well, I've never moved.
Wow.
Never moved.
Holy.
But you know, partly it was because, you know, when I had kids and I didn't want to move them away from their grandparents.
Yeah.
And it's a great place to live.
That's the best. Come on. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
And so you've got now about 18 different projects that have come out.
Yeah.
You got the last season of the final season of The Boys, which, and there's something good coming, Carl, just wait. I hate superhero shit. Yeah. And it took me a long time to realise that I did, because all of these Marvel things would come out and everyone was raving about them. The Avengers, 5 stars, 5 buzzies, five
buzzies, maybe.
Yeah. And then I go along to it and it's like, it's 9 hours long. I hate it.
Yeah.
And then I realised that it's just not for me. There's no point keeping on going, and then eventually you realise that you're either too old, or it's for the kids, it's passed you by, or whatever.
It. Fundamentally, you got to realise that the whole comic book genre was designed for 10-year-old boys.
It's not for 50-year-old men.
Yes.
But The Boys is brilliant because it sort of tips the whole thing on its head, and it's really mean-spirited, which I love about it. And you get to have a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
When that came to you, is that something that got offered to you and you're straight into it? You're auditioning for it?
Yeah, I was actually, I was driving along here in New Zealand. No, I won't say I was driving. I was at home and I was checking my phone, as you do.
Yes.
Yeah, righto.
And I saw that my mate Ant Starr had been cast in this thing called The Boys. And I and I read about the synopsis, went, The Boys. And read the synopsis about this satirical look at the superhero genre. I thought, that's a catchy title. It's a good premise. Sounds interesting. And then just, 2 weeks later, a week later, I got an offer to be in it. I read the script, was immediately loved the character of William Butcher, this fun kind of Machiavellian character who could convince people to do anything, sort of a tough guy, but not to be trusted, and so I went and met with the producers, with Seth Rogen and Eric Kripke and those guys, and decided to jump on it.
Yeah, it's bloody good, isn't it? Because obviously it's funny, it's hyper-violent as well.
Yeah.
And satiric, so it sort of, mocks the superhero thing, but also a real, holds up a mirror to what's going on, particularly in America, I guess. But weirdly, you can't really keep up because what happens on the show, you would, it should be worse than what's happening in real life, but then all of a sudden real life catches up.
It's the weirdest thing, actually. They call it the Devil's Writer's Room because Eric Kripke, he writes about things that are of concern, of importance to him.
Yes.
So, like in the first season, he wrote a lot about sort of sexual assaults, and in the second season, it was sort of racism and stuff. And when both of those seasons came out, it just happened to coincide with, the Me Too movement and Black Lives Matter. So he's kind of like gazing into a crystal ball. And in this season, he's sort of written one of the characters on the show sort of, is, thinks he's God and stuff. And literally, on the clock, the President of the United States, issues this picture of him, allegedly as Jesus Christ.
As a doctor.
Yeah, as a doctor.
But he was a doctor, Carl. He
was a doctor, yeah.
But that's actually really true and a really good point, because the world has got so extreme now, so these characters don't seem as extreme because actually they're parodying themselves now, you know what I mean, these characters. But let me ask you, in terms of your career, and you've obviously had a massive amount of success, is it the point for you now where you simply get asked to play a part, or are you still having to audition, or is it, Carl, would you like this part?
Yeah, it's mainly an incoming phone call business, and I get offered a bunch of stuff. The stuff that I'd really like to do, all the stuff that with directors that you've admired for so long, that stuff is worth chasing, and that stuff you want to work with a Spielberg or a Chris Nolan or something. Yeah, you go and you take the meetings and you go and audition.
The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays from 4 on Radio Hauraki. The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Well, that's right, because it is different. There's different kinds of acting as well as, Jason and I to a far lesser extent. No, it's pretty. You're doing pretty big stuff when you're doing what we do in the shadows, or a particularly Wellington Paranormal, and Brokenwood is a different kind of an acting to a Gormsby or whatever it might be. And then for you to be doing superhero stuff, so you're doing Dredd, you're doing Billy Butcher, you're doing and Mortal Kombat, that. These huge. They have to really fill a space. You can't be quiet and reserved and real. And so that's sort of the performance that you give in something like Out of the Blue is completely different.
Oh, it is. It's tonally, it's completely different. I mean, but you always have to find, the truth of the moment and find the reality. But then also, you have to take that artistic license and have fun with it. Otherwise, it's going to be like watching paint dry. You're in the wrong show.
Yeah, and is that the sort of stuff, because obviously a lot of Kiwi actors, they go away so they can come back, or they go away and then eventually they'll come back. Martin, and I'm probably going to say his
Henderson?
Chalkis. Surname?
Chalkis.
Who comes back and he does quite a lot of drama where he's, the father figure. I've never heard the guy talk in my life, but he seems to turn up in quite a lot of, small New Zealand drama stuff. Is that the sort of stuff that you're always open to?
Oh no, absolutely. I'm always no, but I'm serious. I'm actually, on the lookout, because I grew up and I was inspired by the likes of. As I said, Sam and Bruno and obviously Tim and, good New Zealand movies that are representative of our culture, whether it be like Utu or Smash Palace or Warriors.
Great movie.
The films that Taika made early in his career. Those stories that are intrinsically New Zealand. I want to continue to be a part of the New Zealand film industry, and I want to find those stories to tell.
Yeah. Well, listen, because I was thinking about it, Carl, in terms of Brokenwood, for example. I mean, I'm pretty in there now.
You could put in a word?
I mean, I can put in a word for
Really?
you. We'll see what happens. I can't.
I'll audition.
You know how this industry is, man.
I know.
I can't make promises. But it may be that, I get you a part
What's your
on
character's name, Jace?
Ray.
Ray's
Actually, I couldn't even remember.
Ray's
I was like, I don't know. He just runs a pub or a pizza place. I can't remember.
Ray's long-lost twin brother turns up.
Yes.
There you go, mate. And then you've got Mortal Kombat that's just been doing the rounds as well.
Yeah, that's right. Super excited about this, fellas. It's without a doubt the most physically challenging role I've ever done in my life. I won't because I finished the sort of season 4 of The Boys and I had some fuel in the tank and I was like, said to my agents, find me something with a bit of action. And they came at me with this and I went, oh, this is great. And then
it's Johnny Cage.
It's Johnny Cage.
Which is one of the greats.
One of the
But
all-time
he's a bit older, right?
Yeah, this is an older Cage.
It's
not. The point in our story that we find Johnny, he's a washed-up actor and he's neglected his training. The world's forgotten about him, and it's this very juncture that gets called upon to save the earth, which I thought was really fun.
That's great.
So the potential for comedy was amazing. So it was months and months of training, and when I told my kids that I was going to be Johnny Cage, they were just like, "Ooh, big fan base, don't F it up." Yes. No pressure.
Do you, as an actor, I look at someone like Liam Neeson, for example, where he seems to have made a conscious decision somewhere along in his career, I'm doing action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's who I am now. I mean, is that something that you ever consider, that I'm just going to go on this one genre, or you still want to stay open to those other roles?
No, man, I'm open to anything, and it's I'm just interested in playing as many different kind of characters as I can, and I think people often get caught up in the you're in this genre and that genre and stuff, and it's like, I think if you look at my filmography, my work, I like the idea of that you'd hold these characters up and go, oh my God, that's the same guy.
Yeah.
And I guess just the question is, knowing if it's action of when you should get off that bus, when it's time to stop doing it.
Your body will tell you.
Yeah, when you can no longer get out of the Porsche with agility, style, and grace, that is the time to stop.
And what's it like when you go? I've always wondered about this because Jermaine was overdoing. What was it? What We Do in the Shadows over in Vancouver, and he was talking about the hours that they do over there compared to what they do here.
It's brutal.
And so it's sort of like 17, 18-hour days every single day.
Yeah.
And they're doing nights as well. Mm-hmm. But asking how, especially with comedy, it's hard to be funny after 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, and they're doing 16, 17, 18 hours. Is that it's still just standard over there? Those are the days that you're doing?
That is a standard day. You got your 12-hour day, then you got an hour for lunch, an hour for your hair, wardrobe, makeup, all that stuff. You're traveling an hour to get to work there and back, and then if you're doing overtime, your day, you're working long days.
Yeah,
I tell people how hard we work. You try doing that for 7 months in a row. It's a slog.
Well, and this is the thing. There's every now and again, one of the soundies will release a recording of a Christian Bale or somebody else absolutely exploding on set, and it's like, fuck, there's 30 of those per job.
Yeah.
Because people are absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
It's exhausting work.
It was really interesting, when Xena and Hercules and all that stuff was going on, and you'd get the American actors over to New Zealand, and the mentality was so different. I remember being in a situation and we finished the scene and I was working with an American actress.
Yeah.
And the crew were picking stuff up and I went to pick something up and she was like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, just helping pick stuff up, because they're really staunch about, looking after the actors and the talent and all that sort of stuff. But 17 or 18 hour days.
Yeah, it's unions. That's the actual issue. It's all unionized.
Yes.
And don't you dare take someone else's job.
You would have been viewed as taking someone else's job, Jason. You would have got smacked over by a gaffer or something like that.
Yeah.
But,
I was genuinely taken aback by her horror of and it was simply trying to help pick something up.
But that's very indicative of how we are here in New Zealand.
That's right,
you're shooting a movie, say on a farm somewhere. It's like you're carrying stuff. Like the crew's carrying stuff to get it done.
Well, that was the last time that Jace ever did that.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was stoked to find that out, and I never tried to help ever again.
Yeah.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. And what other stuff have you got coming up now? Because you come back, and I'm assuming you you try and do like 2 or 3 jobs a year? Is that sort of what you look at?
Yeah, well, it's been pretty full on for the last few years.
Because how long do the boys take to shoot a season?
The boys was about 7 to 8 months. MK was about 4.
And where was that filmed?
It was filmed on the Goldie.
Oh, yes.
I love it over there, I got to say. I do like it over there.
It's pretty good.
Like, I'm not going to move, but it's
nice
pretty
to have
good.
it so close.
Yeah. And they work 10-hour days over there, which is so civilized.
Yeah.
Yes.
So... No, I mean, the last thing I filmed actually was a colonoscopy.
Nice.
Yeah, so
that
that's due to be released later on the year. We're just finishing up some special
Carl's
effects, some music on it, and should be a ripper.
I had one of those on my 40th birthday. Oh, no, actually, it was an enema. I went and had an enema. It wasn't as life-changing as I anticipated or hoped.
I gotta say, I bloody loved it. You know, they took me in there, they knocked me out. When I woke up, I was high as a kite.
Yeah,
they
nice.
brought me a Sammy and said, we don't need to see you for 5 years. I went, can we do this again next week? This is great.
Yeah, totally. Well, actually, I should get onto that, especially someone my age.
Like, no, seriously.
Yeah,
on a serious note, if you haven't done it and you're getting to a certain age, go and do it, because the rates of ass cancer in this country are off the Richter scale.
Have you seriously
love
not?
meat.
Had a colonoscopy?
Yeah, Jace, you're in your late 30s, you reckon, man. You got to get onto it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, that's
I know,
what I
man.
thought too. Yeah, you know, I just hit my 40s. I'm like, now's the time.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
And your kids now, have you got a couple of boys?
Yeah, two. Yeah, I've got two
They
boys.
must be now, age me. How old are they?
Yeah, 20 and 25.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
So no ties really now, man. The idea of sticking around here, you could go over to
No,
Goldie. You
I
coming to
don't.
Magic
Nah.
Round with us, man, or what's the guts? You
It's a
coming
Magic
over to
Round.
Brisbane?
What are you doing?
Like
You
your
got the
rugby
rugby
league?
league.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
man.
rugby league.
Yeah, the Buckba leagues.
Hey, if you're inviting, I'm coming for sure, mate. I'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah. And what else do you have going on when you're back here? You still got the grandparents, they're all still up here? Or are they down in Welly? Or?
No, everyone's up here. So,
Yeah, right.
I just like to be low key here, like take the boat out for a fish.
Yeah, nice.
And just do all the things, a few rounds of golf, just relax,
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to ask you about was that show. Did it end up on? It was on Amazon because there's another red carpet that you've been on the last few months.
Oh, well, I
What's
did
that?
the Bluff with
Yes.
Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah.
On Amazon.
She's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, pirate movie.
Yeah.
Good fun. And it was from the Bluff into the Boys and now into Mortal.
People getting sick of you, man?
Well, I'm sick of me, Jace. Minogue. It is time for me to just take a little breather, I think.
Bit of R&R, mate. Well,
Yeah, that's the plan.
What's your handicap in golf?
It's not flash, fellas, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm on a 17 at the moment. What's yours?
30
About
odd.
26.
26. Right, we should play for money.
Yeah, well, okay. We should have I need a partner at the moment because bloody Keyzie's been shithouse.
Is that right? Are you back for a bit?
Yeah, back for a bit, which is good. But no, listen, I've just sort of finished this 2-week tour of promoting Mortal. I couldn't be happy with it. The movie plays so well. I've seen it with a bunch of fans a couple of times, and if you're a fan of martial arts movies or just big fun, blockbuster summer entertainment, it's a great watch.
Can I ask you, Carl, when you're sort of having some downtime, how long is it before you start getting antsy? When you start going, I need to... because I don't know if you're anything like me. I don't like sitting around in my head for too long.
Yeah.
Need to be doing stuff. How long before you go, no, I need to go back to work?
It changes all the time. I don't idle well either. But just the sort of the first quarter of this year for me has just been all taken up promoting these projects.
Yes.
So I'm not at the stage yet where I'm jumping up and down to go back to work, but I will know when that script lands on my desk and I start reading it and start feeling, excited. That'll be the point for sure.
Yeah.
The great thing about that Mortal Kombat, the trailer that came out, which is all I've seen so far, it's not a great track record with video games, man. They managed to really fuck them up.
Yeah.
But what looks great about this is it's clearly got a sense of humour about itself.
Yeah.
It's got a sense of humour about Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
You're playing it very, very straight, but they're making you do some funny shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key to it, right? It's like there has to be another dimension, especially to those fighting films where there's zero storyline. It's just, you know, round 1, round 2, round 3. It looks like a lot of fun, and the reviews online have been great.
Views have been fantastic. They really have, and particularly from the audience, the fans that have seen it, and 100% of the critics love this movie 60 69% of the time.
Yeah.
69% of the time is pretty bloody good.
So we'll take that. That's a win.
But I guarantee
Yes.
you that it's one of those films where the score from from the audience is always going to be higher because it's not. To be honest, it's not really for the critics, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's fun. And the thing that this movie does so well is it does strike the balance between delivering, your top-notch martial arts, and then with a character like Johnny Cage, tonally, his sort of fight, at times sits more in the world of like Jackie Chan. There's this element of fun physical comedy that I get to do. Yeah. Which was a lot of fun to shoot. But boy, as I said before, challenging. When you're learning like a 25 beat move, fight move, and they set up a dolly, a tracking shot, and you have to remember them all.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I could ever do it.
You don't
I
do
said
that?
that like, oh yeah, that's it. I mean, I remember doing the 30 move stunt. I
Yes.
couldn't even pretend to hit my head when I had to do that. So
Are you telling me there's no martial arts on Broken Wood?
not at this point.
They are
Actually,
missing a trick here. They are missing a trick.
I know.
It'll be good to get you on there, Carl, and you turn up scene one, but you get murdered straight away. You're the one that's gone. Like people get really excited, you're gone.
Yes.
Scene one.
Yeah.
What else is happening, man? There was another question I had, but it's gone out of my head. When's it open?
Oh, well,
Is it open?
It's open from today,
Oh,
actually.
good.
Yeah. Open from today in cinemas now. Do your mum a favour, leave her at home, get out of the house, and go and see this movie. In fact, take her along too, because like if you're a fan of movies like Sense and Sensibility and The Godfather, and this is a movie for you.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, your mum will love it.
Judges of Madison County. It's
Yeah,
got it written
exactly.
all
It's right in that wheelhouse, fellas.
Beautiful. Well, Karl Urban, thanks so much for coming in, mate. It's been an absolute treat.
Cheers for having me, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. I was talking to Taika about your issue. I mean, clearly, and not to be disparaging,
Yes.
but you're kind of in New Zealand, sort of internationally on the D list a little bit. But
Yes.
he's written a Star Wars movie, and I
Wow.
think he's got a way to get you guys off the D into the A.
I think so as well. That would be nice. I mean, I don't mind at all being on the D, but we
Yeah, I
have
was
been
going to
on
say,
the
I'm
D
quite
for a
fond
long
of the
time.
D.
And I'd love to-
Yeah, we
I'd
love
But
the
you'd
D.
love to get into the
You'd
A,
love to get
wouldn't you?
into the A.
Well, look, if the A was there, then
Yeah.
certainly I'd give it a crack. But
Because he's written you guys some roles.
Yeah, right. A couple of androids or something like those lines.
It's C3 Keyzie.
So nice.
You play Obi-Wan Minogue, a very wise, sage Jedi, and unfortunately I left the bad guy, so you're Darth Hoyte.
oh,
There you
Darth
go.
Hoyte,
Because
yeah,
Carl
good.
Solo was taken.
It's
But
yes.
sort of got the build of R2D2 though.
True. I do. Beautiful.
all good,
Awesome.
fellas.